Yes, people, we're back. You know what time it is? Rivals, not virals on a Sunday. Big games, big pressure. Will the league end? Will Man United be dragged into the top four race for real, for real? Harry Kane, 209 goals, second above Wayne Rooney now. And Erling Haaland, Man City. The show rock solid. He might not have scored, but Man City and Gundogan are still taking pace and doing their thing, man. So, guys, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Make sure you get your comments in. We've got quite a lot to get through today. And obviously, don't forget there's two big games as well. The Newcastle-Arsenal clash. Top four could be secured. Title race could be over. Both could be open again. There's a lot happening. And then, of course, we've got the West Ham Man United game as well. So, yes, guys, make sure you subscribe to all the guys in the channel right now. Look at it. We've got Goonally inside. Obviously, make sure you check out Goonally's content, DR Sports, all of that. We've got Spurs Talk Show. Big up Sean for always coming on as well. Love that. And then we've got Hamza as well. He's hiding for now, but he's going to come on definitely when we talk Man City. So don't worry about that. And then Kendall's going to be joining us as well. So let me get through a few of the comments and then we'll come in and we'll just start the show straight away. Big up Blue Man. He says light. Sub 2 City says first. Legends, did you know if Arsenal lose to Newcastle and Brighton, City can win the league as soon as next weekend? No, I did not know that, Betrays, actually. I didn't even think of it like that. But let's see if that happens. But interesting comment, actually. Let me just try a few more because I can see other people having loads of content there. You're lucky I'm giving you my time. You lot all bickered already, yeah? You lot give me jokes. But guys, make sure you like the video already. 50 of you here. So make sure, let's try and run this up to 100. Big up Sophia's Football Talk. Big game for us today, Sophia, man. Hope you're well and everything. Big up Marie as well. Love that. Hit the like button. Daniel as well. Top of the league, one game at a time. Love that. Love that. Big up Jarvis. Hope you're well, bro. Bank holiday weekend and all that. If any of you that watch the coronation as well, I didn't. But if you did, I respect it. I respect it. And Vamos Vinicius. Yes. I see something that Camavinga, you lot, at 21 has completed the set. Do you not see that?
Yeah, amazing. Unbelievable.
Mental. Might as well just go to the Premier League now and try and win everything here. Crazy, man.
Well, depends who he's going to, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad. Big up DZ as well. He says, good morning, lads. Come on, Newcastle, man. But yeah, big weekend, big day of games today, man. But yeah, let's get into it, man. I'm trying to think where to start. We might have to start with you, Hamza, because City have played and we'll just move into the big guns. But boy, I think the main talking point was, why is Haaland letting Gundogan take the penalty?
Yeah, I think the thing is, football.
That could have messed you up, you know.
It could have messed me up. It could have messed us up big time because I was nervous, man. I was nervous. I've seen that before. Like, you're right. The thing is, there's a reason. When you're 2-0 up, you're not comfortably. You haven't won the game. You know it. Because if I get the goal back, you're ready on ropes, and then you panic. And we've seen teams lose 2-0 leads. Forget 3-0 leads. Arsenal's the biggest one. they know about losing 2-0 leads. To us, we thought, listen, as soon as he gave the ball to Gundogan, I thought, okay, let Gundogan make it happen. That's what I thought. Let Gundogan. But it's an emotional thing. Yeah. But if you're thinking about it cleverly, you need to end the game quicker. You need to end the game. Done. You have to end the game quicker because you've got other big games coming up. You got Real Madrid, you got Everton, then you got Chelsea, then now you got Real Madrid in between that. The thing is, you expect Gundogan to score, but a lot of our players have been missing penalties. We've had Mahrez missing, we've had Gundogan, Raheem Sterling, had Jesus. Jesus was missing penalties. We've tried everyone. So first penalty taker that we've had comfortable on the ball for many years is this guy. Yeah, He's Erling Haaland. He scores goals. Mainly, I think he's missed one penalty from Man City, but he scores. Yeah. And the thing with him, he shouldn't have given it, but it was more an emotional thing. To us, it was worrying, bro. It was worrying because I was looking at the time, because I know Brentford and Brighton away is not the games to go that you need a point or 3 points.
Yeah, facts. Even Everton away fighting for their life.
Bro, you're going away. That's the worst thing. You're going away to a team the two teams are dangerous. The two most dangerous teams that outside the top 5, top 6 is Brentford and Brighton. Everyone knows they're dangerous teams. They can beat anyone. So to me, I've been saying for a long time, we must go to Brighton and Brentford. We've won the league. Because you can't go there needing a point because you can get hurt. Bro, imagine us losing the league because we lost at Brentford. It's mad. It's crazy. That would punish Pep's career, man. You lost
do you know what? It's mad, because Pep actually even said, like, if you're 4-0 up, then I get it. Give it to Gundogan then because the game's done. But he said 2-0, the game's not done. And I even see it the full-time whistle. When the full-time whistle went, Pep was kind of just like, phew, we had got the points. And let's be honest, even Arsenal fans that were watching it, they must have been thinking in that last 5 minutes, Leeds could nick a point here. And that would have blown it all into like another perspective, because this was the type of game that I think even Arsenal fans, even me, myself, we had written off and said, right, this is 3 points for us, 3 points for City. We'll look at the Everton game, the Brighton game, and Brentford game, see if anything can happen. Yesterday could have been an absolute disaster. But away from that, obviously, City were in control. You're doing what you do at the busiest end of the season. Do you know what I mean? You're winning your games. You're being clinical in terms of taking your chances. You're not really under pressure at the moment. It's just whether, you could take the eye off the ball with the Champions League coming up. Obviously, you've got Champions League this week, and then you've got Everton, and then Champions League again. This is where it kind of unraveled a bit in the Champions League last year. Are you scared at all about that happening again, or are you confident going into the 2 weeks? Now he's rotating. Look, Grealish rested yesterday. Rodri, he's been a bit more. He's thinking about it more. Pep.
Yeah, I've said it before. Listen, it's nervous. We've never won it before. Yeah, in this game, whether people say like it or not, we're the underdogs in this game. We're going to a Real Madrid game. We're fighting the elite, the conquerors of Europe, the guys who have the belt. You know, when you fight the boxer, the guy's got the belt. He's got 14 belts. I have 0. You're going to fight a guy. He's got 14 belts. You have to be scared. You have to think, there's a reason why this guy's a champion. I have 0 belts. I'm called a bottler. I've bottled Lyon. We've bottled Monaco. That's what we're told. So we're the little dogs. We're the underdogs. We're not expected to. We're just there. But people are scared of us because they think City might win it, but we're underdogs. So obviously we're scared. We know it's Madrid. Madrid is scared of us as well. Let me make it clear.
I don't think I'll be honest with you, Hamza. I don't think you're underdogs. Surely Hamza's playing this down here. These are not underdogs against Real Madrid for me. Forget what Real Madrid have done. I'm thinking of the teams this year. Man City, the team that should be winning this tie.
It's a funny one because obviously Man City are playing unbelievable football at this moment. I do think they have deficiencies in their game. I have seen a few times where they've leaked goals, but I think Real Madrid, if you watch them, they've not looked amazing at times as well. So I think, look, like Man City should go through over the 2 legs, but Tuesday's game, they just have to manage it. Just manage it. Like, do what you've been doing all season, and yeah, like I think you'll find a way, man. Like ultimately, you've got Haaland. This is the guy that's meant to win you the Champions League this season or next season, whatever. But he's come in to do that, so there's no excuses. Whatever the weather, there's no excuses. So you just got to figure it out. Like you rested Rodri, like you didn't start all your first teamers against Leeds, and you still won. So yeah, let's see what the Tuesday's going to be a big game.
It is, isn't it? And it's interesting as well because obviously the second leg this time is actually at Man City, and they haven't lost in 25 Champions League home games or something like that, which is scary, to be fair. The only scary thing is City's are only by more players. Hamza's forcing it in terms of the underdog thing, and then Daniel's saying, Ty, of course we're underdogs. Have some respect for Real Madrid. They are the current champions. They've won it 14 times. We have never won it. Real Madrid's objective every season is the Champions League. They know how to win it and can never be counted out. What are your thoughts on it, Sean? To be fair, when you look at this Real Madrid Man City, are Man City underdogs despite never winning it?
No, I don't think they are. I think that history. You take lessons from history, and of course, it's going to be a fascinating encounter. I think I agree with Lee. What happens in the first leg is going to shape it. I think Man City will be more comfortable at home, and will get will be able to claw back any deficit. But if they can walk away from the Bernabeu with a tie or 1-goal deficit, then I think City will have enough to do the job in the second leg. What I would say, and it's a bit, I might get mudded for saying this, right? But I was watching yesterday, I've been watching Haaland quite a bit recently. Obviously, the goal scoring machine that he is, it's mad to even present this as a thought process. But I watched against Arsenal in a lot of the bigger games recently. I've seen Haaland like miss a couple of unnecessarily. He's missed a couple of chances before the game was put to bed. Right. Obviously, he goes and scores in the end anyway. But I feel like it could be the tie could be decided by who takes their. Obviously, it sounds stupid to say it out loud, but who takes their chances? And if Man City get chances at the Bernabeu and they fall to Haaland and he doesn't take them, if he does like scuff a couple of shots like I've seen him do in a couple of games recently, then I don't think you're going to have an abundance of chances at Madrid. And whereas Madrid usually are the sort of team that might be on the receiving end of a lot of pressure in games, but when they do break, they are a team that takes their chances. So I think it comes down to the difference in the game in the over the two legs is going to be fine margins of whether or not the opportunities are taken when they're presented. And like I say,
yesterday's game was an example, though, Sean. I'm not saying that Haaland was bad. He had like 6 or 7 shots, but he had like I'll say 3 or 4 that normally they go in, but they were like going wide, hitting the post, little things like that.
Yeah, same happened in the early stages of the Arsenal game. Man City were 1-0 up, but they could have been 4. They could have had the tie put to bed, 4-0 by half time. And when it was 1-0, you're like, Arsenal can break here and get if they take a chance, and the game flips on its head entirely.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying for a second that Haaland, is his inability to take chances. That's madness because of the goals he scored. But
I get your.
I don't think you're going to get that many chances away at Madrid. And if he does get presented with a couple, he needs to take them earlier. And if he does, then I think Man City will be fine in the overall tie.
What's your comeback to that, Hamza? Because I actually agree with Sean. He's not using like silly logic. Of course, Haaland has scored like 50 plus goals. He's been brilliant this season. Don't get me wrong. But like yesterday, of course, obviously a couple of chances when it was like 1-0, 2-0, he didn't take. The Arsenal game, which I remember Lee was watching the DR Sports. I was watching that, and you obviously Ramsdale. It was like Ramsdale Haaland battle in the first half, wasn't it? On another day, Haaland scores probably 3 or 4 in both games, but he didn't. But do you think is that a worry for you, or do you think no? It's actually he's getting the chances. So I'm more looking at that he's getting the chances rather than not taking them.
I think. Listen, what you said particularly about Real Madrid is they have moments. They have moment of brilliance. So Real Madrid will sit back and you will create chance, but they will have that moment of one chance. Vinicius crosses the ball, Benzema. He's not like Etihad goal. He was not meant to score that. There's no chance. No keeping no way I've seen a goal being hit like that with a weak foot, and he puts it in the top corner. So yes, but one thing about Haaland is he's Mr. Champions League. Him, Mbappe, Benzema, Ronaldo. These guys love big moments. They love big games. They thrive on big games. When you put them down, they can do it. I think we can hurt Real Madrid. I think we can hurt Real Madrid really badly. And Real Madrid know it. Real Madrid know that last year they escaped with a scratch. They're very, very lucky, as I said before. Like, we should have beaten Real Madrid. Even the season before that, when we played them, we won 2-1. We should have won 4-1. Madrid is scared of us. I feel Madrid are nervous. They know the team that they don't want to play in Europe is Man City. And I think we are ready. I think our players are so angry how we lost that game. I think our fans are angry how we lost.
The timing is perfect.
We didn't deserve it. No one can call us. We had Real Madrid on ropes. It's like a boxer. You got this guy on ropes. You're punching the guy. The guy is crap and he's supposed to go down. But he just holds himself and he just throws a punch, which he doesn't know where he's throwing to. But he lands on your cheek and you fall down. It was not meant to happen. We were supposed to have gone through. This time, last year, we didn't have our defense back. That's why we kept conceding goals. People don't realize. We were playing Fernandinho right back. We were taking off Kyle Walker and then bring Zinchenko. And these guys costed us. But this time, I hope Ake is fit. I hope the team's back. The team are hungry. And I think it's going to be a big game. I'm nervous. I'm angry. And I'm upset. I've got a lot of anger Madrid fan because I think if we win this time, I think the world would be scared and think, oh my God, what a team. What a team. We'll go down in history if we win this Champions League, if we beat Madrid, as probably one of the greatest teams ever. People talk about for many years. So I think an opportunity comes for us on Tuesday is a big game. Tuesday away game is the biggest
greatest game ever. Wow, like you're calling it early. Blimey, man. I'm not saying that you're wrong saying the greatest. I'm not trying to like say you're deluded for saying greatest team ever. But I feel like to be like one of the greatest teams ever, I feel like you have to complete the treble and maybe back to back it or something like that. I feel like you're getting there. You're on the right tracks, but I don't think this season I could say greatest team ever. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that. Would you anyone else say that greatest team ever? Is City going to win the Champions League this year?
Not a chance.
No chance. No.
I can't do that.
If they were the greatest team ever, they would have been consistently smashing it all season. And let's be honest, Arsenal were in the lead for in the league for 75-80% of the season so far. So if they were the greatest team ever, they wouldn't have struggled earlier on in the season like they did.
I think I just want to rebuttal that. The reason why I think will be considered is the fact that how can a team lead the race for 93% and a team comes from where we had our players literally fatigued from the World Cup come and take our chances and win the league over 90 points. No team in history has played this well and grinding. Arsenal did everything they needed to do.
You hear what you're saying, though, Hamza? You're saying
to beat the Galacticos. People don't realize to beat the Galacticos and Bayern Munich on the way to the Champions League final. No one.
You lost to Tottenham this season.
Yeah,
you can't be the greatest team ever if you lose to Tottenham.
Yeah, we lost, but people are not going to remember that. People are going to remember the cups, the trophies, how you won it. They beat the Galacticos, the defending champion. They beat Bayern Munich. They thrashed Leipzig 7-0. People remember that story and they'll say, wow, that was a team that really didn't do a smash and grab. They won it fairly. They beat everyone. And there's no better story than to win it this way. I think City have got very great opportunity to put them their team in the history books. Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo will be remembered for many years to come. And this will not be our last time. If we win the first Champions League, I believe City are coming back next year and the year because the pressure's off.
That's when I'll talk to you, though. That's when that's not me just trying to have my Man United hat on. If you say that you're the greatest team ever, but then you go and do the same thing next year, even win a double, league and Champions League, that's like a 2-year period. You could put yourselves in a bracket. Do you know what I mean? Because when you look at that Barcelona team from when I was like, 2011, 2012, they won 7 trophies that season. They won it all, but it's not even like they won it all like hardship. They won it all convincingly. That was a team that you knew every week they're playing. They were just going to go out and win every game. They weren't really in trouble. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is you're on for the treble still. So it's a big win for you yesterday. You'll take it this part of the season 2-1 and roll on Tuesday, man, or Wednesday, whenever it is, because everyone's going to be looking forward to that. But big up Kendall for joining now. I know you're here obviously back till 1 o'clock. So I know you're going off to St. James's for a big game. So I'm going to talk on Spurs now with Sean. And then I'm going to let you and Lee, go a bit head-to-head at it because I'm looking forward to this game. I think that's the most thing I'm looking forward to today, to be honest. So, Sean, over to you. Mr. Harry Kane, 209 goals, overtaking Wayne Rooney, second in the all-time, let's just say, behind the legend that is like Alan Shearer. I don't know if he's going to break the record or you don't know if he's going to be on the move. But, yeah, man, I'm sure you want to talk on Harry Kane, man.
Yeah, look, I didn't think he had the best game yesterday, if I'm honest. I thought in the first half he looked really sluggish. But, he's one of these players that, like Tottenham, have always got a chance in any game when you've got him and his ability, even on an off day, to do what he's capable of doing. And, he's comfortable in the air. He's comfortable with on either foot. He can win the ball. He can just pull passes out of like a rabbit out of a hat consistently that just create openings. And look, yesterday I thought the game was pretty boring. It was I was really interested and intrigued by what Ryan Mason did. A lot of people that were Tottenham fans, complaining about Conte not changing tactics, and other people who were Conte stans saying, well, he didn't have the option to. We haven't got the players to do anything. And Ryan Mason, I think, was really brave yesterday, moving Romero into, I guess on paper it was still a 3-4-3, but actually during the game it looked like a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1 at times. He brought back Emerson Royale and played him first time in the right-sided centre-back, moved Romero into the back, and we looked, dropped Eric Dyer, and Tottenham looked incredibly comfortable against a Crystal Palace team. I know that Crystal Palace have got nothing to play for, but they've got a brilliantly effective and very creative forward line themselves in Elise, Eze, and the like. So, and that Doucouré in the middle is a really, really solid player as well. So it was a bit of a frustrating affair for the first half. But ultimately, in the 44th minute, like I say, Harry Kane, who'd been quiet, just decides to get creative, flick the ball over the top of his head for Pedro Porro. And look, Pedro Porro, I think, if we can get some better centre backs to play alongside Romero next season and take off the defensive responsibilities of Pedro Porro.
You think
I think
his
we've got a hell
freedom
of,
will be up and down?
yeah, and he's got this. I haven't seen a player in a Tottenham shirt be able to cross the ball with as much whip and accuracy as he has, and he can, for a long time. I don't want to get ahead of myself with him because he's got a lot to learn, and the pace of the game is different from Portugal. And look, defensively, he's all over the place. But I thought he was brilliant yesterday, and like I say, him combining with Harry Kane, it was superb. And Harry Kane, taking over Wayne Rooney, he deserves to be second. Of course, he'll be number one as long as he stays injury free and stays in the Premier League. And whether he's at Tottenham or not, I personally think he will stay at Tottenham. I think that Daniel Levy will make it very difficult for Manchester United to pay up the money to get him, and I don't think he'll leave Tottenham to go to a London club. So for me, I think that he'll stay at Tottenham under duress, almost like he'll have nowhere else to go. If Man United don't get him this summer, you guys will be forced, I'd imagine, to go and pay up for someone else. Maybe, Rasmus Højlund or Osimhen or whoever it is you're looking at. I don't know who you're looking at for a backup option. And if that happens, then I don't know where Harry Kane goes. So I'd love it if he stays, but I'd understand if he leaves. The guy deserves to win trophies, and he does deserve to get his.
This is my thing, because even someone said, "Will I take him at Man United?" Adam, of course. Is he like my number one choice? I'd probably say no. But in terms of getting 3 years out of Kane, I'm not going to turn it down if Kane's there offered to us, because he scored 26 or 27 league goals now in a Tottenham team that's not been firing all season, and he's still managing to score goals. But the thing is with me, Sean, and I want to see what Kendall and Lee think about this as well, though, is that you want him to stay at Spurs, of course you do, and you don't think he'll go. But if you think about it, he's had opportunities to leave before and he stayed. Don't you think there'll be one point of at least mutual respect, that he could go to Daniel Levy and say, do you know what, Daniel, I've been here for a long time now. I'm 31 next August or whatever it is. I want to go and win trophies now. Would you sell me? And just say, do you know what, honor the time that I've had at the club and just let him go. Because the only thing is, right, he's not going to sign a new deal at Tottenham. His contract runs out next year. So you either sell him now this summer for 80 or 100 million, right? Just put that figure out there. And then you get your money, and then you can kind of use that to rebuild. Or you let him stay for one more year and try and get top 4 with a new manager, Nagelsmann, whoever it is. And then he goes on a free anyway. I don't think he signs.
I don't know if he would though.
80 or 100, or you let him go for free.
I just don't think, because if Man United do sign someone else, because Daniel Levy doesn't deal with your owner, whoever that owner looks like in the summer. If he goes, look, 150 million, and your owner goes, no, it's ridiculous. Okay, sorry, no deal. Doesn't answer the phone like he didn't do for Manchester City.
That's what he did last year, didn't he? Did the same thing last summer.
Just didn't answer the phone. Didn't return any calls or anything else. Like, if Man United then go and buy someone else, Harry Kane could leave for free. But is he going to go to Chelsea? I don't think so, because I don't think he wants Tottenham fans singing "We're all having a party" when Harry Kane dies, like we did for Sol Campbell. And the difference between Sol Campbell going to Arsenal and Harry Kane going to Chelsea, I don't think it's that different. Sol Campbell was a hero at Tottenham. He was our captain. He was one of our own, came through the youth, and was brilliant when he played for Tottenham. Harry Kane, exactly the same story. One of our own, came through the youth, a captain, a hero. But Tottenham fans are fickle. And as soon as you go and stab us in the back or stab us in the heart or whatever you want to call it, then Tottenham fans booed Harry Kane when he didn't turn up for pre-season a couple of years ago. He was still a Tottenham player, and we booed him then, right? And he had to win us back over. So I don't know if he wants to destroy his legacy. So I don't think he goes to Chelsea. He doesn't go to Arsenal. Where else does he go in the Premier League?
It's literally Man United. I just feel like it is Man United or he stays at Spurs. And I think that Ten Hag wants him as well. So I think that's the drag. And I think obviously with only 51 goals behind, Shearer's record, he wants to stay in the Prem. So it's either stays at you lot and he goes on a free next year, or he comes to us this summer. But it depends.
If he goes on a free next year,
but would you be cool? Would Levy be cool with that? He's a money man. He's going to let his best price asset go on a free.
No, I don't think he will. It's going to be an interesting Mexican standoff. But my point is that if we don't deal with United this summer and United go and drop 100 million quid on whoever, Osimhen or whoever it is, you don't need him next summer.
We don't need him next year.
Yeah, so even though he can go on a free transfer, where's he going to go to next year? I think he therefore signs.
Maybe he could go Real
people.
Madrid as a Benzema replacement. That's the only thing I could think of.
But then he sacrifices his Premier League record.
Yeah, Premier League,
because he won't have broke it by the end of next season. So
yeah, that's true. Wow, what do you think, Kendall, on it? And obviously, welcome to the show and everything. Make sure you subscribe to Kendall's channel as well. I know she's going to be doing more next season, 100% with that as well. But yeah, Kendall, where do you think this Harry Kane situation lies at the moment? Because give it 1 month and it's going to be the talk of the town every single day.
Yeah, it was the same last year, and I honestly thought he probably would leave last year, but obviously Daniel Levy's notoriously difficult to deal with, probably the hardest man to deal with in the Premier League right now. So, yeah, I think it's a weird situation. I will respect him so much if, say, Bayern Munich come in, like as has been spoken about, and he says, yeah, I'm going. I'll honestly respect Harry Kane so much for that, because everyone's always talking, he has no ambition, like he doesn't want to leave Tottenham, he doesn't want to win trophies, he doesn't want to do this, that, and the other. And I'll respect him so much if he just says, nah, see ya, I'm going to go and do something for like my career, myself. Like I will honestly respect that a lot. But I agree with Sean.
That's because it keeps Alan Shearer, like your boy Alan Shearer.
100%. I'd love him to go there. And not bring Alan Shearer. That is the only thing that we have had to hold on to for years. So yes, I'm taking that. No, but on the general, like, unbiased thing, like, I would honestly respect it. But as well, I agree with Sean. I think if he doesn't go this summer, he stays till the end of his career. I just don't see him going.
Wow, so you think he'll sign a new deal, Kendall?
Yeah, I think he will. If he doesn't go this summer, and obviously it's a free next year, who's gonna pay for him then? Like, well, not pay for him because it's a free, but where's he gonna go then? Like, I agree with Sean. I don't see him going anywhere else, because everyone else will have, by that point, the ship's been and gone. It's sailed. Like, everyone's moved on.
That would be crazy. We actually just spent another 3-4 years.
Osimhen's gone somewhere. Mbappe's gone to Real Madrid. Like, and he's never going to go to PSG. Like, he's just not going to do that. So I just think if he doesn't go this year, the ship will have sailed. And I think.
Okay, if I ask you right now, on the spot, August the 12th, when the season starts, whatever it is this year. Is Kane wearing a United shirt or Spurs shirt? What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's wearing a United shirt.
Yeah. Goonally, what are you thinking of this Spurs situation? Is he going to be wearing a United shirt come August?
I'll be honest. I actually know a little bit more about it just because of, like, kind of who I know more than anything.
Okay. Ooh, in the know lane.
Listen, people always doubt me, but I always get my stuff right, man. They always doubt me and I get myself right. I'm more 65% he won't be at Spurs. I'm more 95% he won't go abroad. Knowing his wife, the little bit I do know, she's such a Chinkford girl. Like, she's such a Londoner. She won't want to leave, and I don't see him wanting to go abroad. So I'll be shocked if he went Bayern or anywhere like that. And I think he should get the Premier League sort of record. Do I think if you say that Spurs is a good move? I mean, I don't rate him highly as a person. Just because I just don't think he's actually that good as his record shows. That's just me. I don't really rate him.
I'm actually with you, Lee. Funny
honestly, enough. I don't. But fair enough. If he gets the record, fantastic, world class, well done, really, really good. But I don't think that Man United are really missing out on that much. I'll be honest with you.
I'm with you, bro.
It's weird, but wow. I think he does help you possibly win the league. Even though I don't rate him that much, I feel like I'm contradicting myself a lot. But
why don't you rate him? What don't you rate about him?
No, I do. I do rate him. Go on.
206 goals in the Premier League alone is something that you look. The record did it, and the amount of goals, the amount of games he's done it in as well. But I just think there are many poor defenders in the league. I think there have been many poor defenders in the league. I think he's been really, really. Dare I say lucky, but you can't be lucky in football. You create your own luck. I just look at him as a footballer and I don't see this all-conquering player.
He doesn't move you, doesn't he?
He doesn't move me at all.
But look, my thing is more than anything. Look, if he signs a deal at Spurs, it tells you all you need to know as a person and as a footballer, because that is absolute loser mentality. You can think about the record, but there is a record and he's winning. And you're going to go down as a great anyway because of your English, your England captain. You scored 206 goals, etc., etc. You signing that contract isn't good. You signing that contract and trying to stay in the league to get the all-time goal scoring record isn't going to do much to change anything for him, because he look at him as just all conquering player anyway. And Sean is shocked.
Joining a team with better players, if you can't win a trophy with Tottenham, like there's two arguments I want to quickly make to counter. One is, like, imagine how many goals he would have scored had he been playing for United his entire career, or for City his entire career. He'd already have the record. He's done it playing for a team that finishes fifth on average.
And that's why you have to.
Yeah, but he might not have, though, because in teams like that, like, there's other players that score goals, whereas Tottenham, he's been like the talisman goal scorer for at least, I would say, 5 years. Obviously, Son helped out a little bit when they had a really good partnership, but I think obviously he wouldn't have been maybe the only, not the only, but the majority goal scorer maybe in that sort of team, if that makes sense.
Fair. That's a fair counter. But the second point I'd like to make is I don't understand how, if this, and I know I go against the grain here with everyone. The media pushes this narrative that you can't be a legacy GOAT unless you have trophies to your name. But if you can't win a trophy with Tottenham and you have to move to a different team in the same league in order to win trophies, then you're either presenting the argument that he becomes a 10 times better player because he's playing with better players, or he's just playing with better players. And I don't understand how his legacy should be determined by other players.
This is where I would disagree, because as I've said, you see the list of times and the amount of opportunities he's had to win. If I remove the Champions League, because I genuinely believe he was not fit, and I don't think it's fair to judge him on that. The FA Cup finals against Man United, semi-finals against Chelsea's, the final against, who was it? It wasn't against
City. Cup.
Look, he's had opportunities, and every single moment, I'm not going to say he's bottled it, but he's not turned up. Let's just say that. Right. Let's be fair and say he's not turned up.
I agree with that.
So he's had opportunities. So let's not. We can't keep saying this whole Spurs thing, because they got to finals. They've been to semi-finals. So they've had opportunities. And look, not to say that Spurs have been better than Arsenal, Arsenal have been better than Spurs, but in our barren spell when we haven't been great and our players haven't been at the level of, we've still won trophies, and we've not had a player as Kane. So I'll probably say our best player has probably been Alexis Sanchez over the last few years in that kind of realm. So for me, Kane should be the player to take you over the top. So I don't believe this whole rhetoric. If he goes to Man City, if he goes to Man United, he takes a team over the top, because I've seen it for England. I've seen it for Tottenham that he doesn't have.
No, but I'm not saying that. But the argument is though, sorry, mate. The argument is though that his status as a GOAT is fulfilled if he wins a league or a Europa League or a Champions League or even an FA Cup. If he finishes his career as the Premier League's top goal scorer, but without a team trophy, then he can't ever be considered as one of the greatest. But if he goes to Man United and wins one trophy, then he can be.
No.
If he can't do it at Tottenham.
No, I'm saying I don't think that anything will change in terms of the goal record. I just think for Harry Kane's caliber, it's not cementing anything, but you have to win something, because you can't have all these goals. Every single player on that list has won something. Every single player on that list.
You have to have
because 99.99% of the time, the best players in the world play for the best teams in the world.
Yes, but he's had opportunity. It's not like he's not been to a quarterfinal, a semi-final, or a final. He's had opportunities. You can't just remove the fact that he plays for Tottenham, because Tottenham at one stage, whether you want to agree with it or not, Sean, you were the first, second, or third best team in the league. So you've had opportunities. Arsenal, Leicester have not been the first, second, third best team in the league at times. They've still won things.
No, I know, but I think we're arguing different points though, because my point is that the media presents this narrative that for Harry Kane to be thought of in the history books as one of the best of all time, it's not enough to be the top goal scorer. He has to win a team trophy. And to your point, he's had opportunities at Tottenham and has bottled it or hasn't turned up. But if he then goes to Manchester United and they win a trophy, because he could still not turn up on the day, but the other players around him get the job done and get them over the line, then all of a sudden that pushes him to being thought of as a legacy GOAT because of other people. That shouldn't affect his...
I think it's the other way around, though. I think he's done enough with the Premier League right now in terms of the amount of goals he scored. I think it's now time to put himself into another bracket. So I kind of think the other way of what you're saying, but I get what you're saying, though. I totally do. I just think he now needs to get into himself to a point where he's winning, because ultimately the game is for winning, and he's not got anything. You can't have Matt Smith, an unknown under 21 Arsenal player, having more trophies than Harry Kane, which doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't make sense. So I just think now he needs to change his mentality and he needs to go and win. If he signs a contract at Spurs, that tells me all I need to know about him. And I think it pushes him down. I think he's here. If he stays, for everybody, no one would ever look at him in the same way because he's ruining himself. And I know a lot of it is on your owner. I know a lot, so it's not all Harry Kane, but Harry Kane has to really push and say, look, I've done this for you. I've got 206 goals and counting because we've still got 4 games left. He now needs to get himself out of Spurs some way to get to the point where he can go and possibly win. Because even if he goes Man United aren't in a winning position right now.
Yeah, we still need more. He helps us by scoring goals. Yeah. But you know what, Sean? It's funny because I've got one of my mates at work. He's a big Spurs fan as well, and he's known for years. I'm always a bit funny with Harry Kane, and I'm just with Lee. Like in terms of, I get it. Harry Kane is a very good player, right? He drops in the pockets, he passes the ball well, he scores goals. But there's something about him that I've just never gravitated towards him like a lot of people do. Like he is one of the best ever, this and that. I just feel like he knows where to be, right place, right time. A bit like how Thomas Müller is. They're different players, of course, but Thomas Müller, he's never going to be like, to me, oh my God, he's amazing. But his career,
what I think it is, honestly? I think it's like he doesn't have any charisma. Like, he doesn't have any, like, he's not like he's a great player, don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic striker.
You have him in some big games.
He just doesn't have like a, how do I explain it? He just doesn't have like a personality he's just like very like he's very like straightforward, straight-laced, like he does his job on the pitch, that's it, finished. I respect that, but I think that's why people don't like, he doesn't move people, because he's not like, you're not going to a game and being like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see what Harry
you never see him fired up, you never see him shouting, even his celebration is robotic, isn't it?
Whatever you're going to
one dimension. I just thought Callum Wilson did it against Everton as well the other day.
I think when you look at someone like Harry Kane, look, again, this is just me, forget the Arsenal thing. I think he's a fake nice guy. The diving, the cheating, listen, no one's ever going to make me forget the fact that what he did against Stoke, he wanted to get that golden boot and he swore in his daughter's life that he scored a goal when we all saw the video evidence that he didn't. For me, that's like, I just don't rate that kind of. I don't respect that kind of stuff. So as a person, I don't like him as a footballer.
You know what is wrong, man? Do you know what is wrong? Yeah, Lee. I want to see if you agree with me on this. You were linked to Isaac about 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Right now, and this is me being truthful, Sean, you're probably going to laugh at me for this. If you said to me, summer 2023, I can have Isaac or Kane for Man United, I'm probably picking Isaac for the longevity and feeling that his all-round game with his dribbling, his pace and everything. I would be excited by having him come into my club rather than Kane. People might clip this and think I'm a madman, but I actually really rate Isaac. And I would take him right now.
I rate Isaac
too.
To
Manchester United and where we're looking to go.
Yeah. But how old's Isaac though? 23, right?
22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 23. But why does it matter? If Kane's that good, why does the age matter for you, the first thing anyway?
I think.
Well, it's not. It's just in terms of valuation. Like if Kane was 23 right now, still banging in the goals that he is in the Tottenham squad, he'd be 100. He'd be 100.
Yeah, but I mean, but if Kane is this good,
right?
yeah, but Sean, if Kane is that good, like amazing, like Lee was even questioning, then surely for me it'd be a no-brainer. I'll be like, yep, do you know what? Give me Kane for 3 years.
I think the one thing, unless you watch Tottenham like avidly, like obviously Tottenham fans do, or unless you're like to someone who dials in all day long to football. I think that the thing that people forget about Harry, or not maybe forget, but they overlook about Harry Kane, not only does he score the goals for Tottenham, but he's usually the creator in chief as well. Like Erling Haaland is banging in 50 goals, but he's not the guy that's setting the goals up. Like De Bruyne is, or Gundogan or Grealish or whatever else. In Tottenham, that you've got a number 9 and you've got a number 10 in Harry Kane. You've got a 9.5. And so like you can use Harry Kane at Man United or in any other club in a variety of different ways. You could fit him into the Man City team and still have Grealish in there, still have Haaland as well. You could fit him in if Eriksen was out injured or Fernandes was out injured at Man United. Harry Kane could sit in that deeper role. Or you could, if Rashford was out injured, you could also have him out, have him up front in a number 9. Like Harry Kane has, for me, the total package. Obviously, he doesn't have the pace, he doesn't have the step overs and the trickery. Although he doesn't lack in that ability, he can still dribble the ball, even though he's slow at doing it. He can still find a way to use his body and draw fouls and all that stuff. But for me, what I think people overlook is the stuff that he's doing when he's not scoring goals. And unless you watch Tottenham, on repeat all day long, every day, and see that stuff in finer detail, you might overlook or undermine how important that sort of side of his game is. I don't think Isaac offers that.
Fair.
I think
What were
I
you
was
going to
gonna
say,
say
Hamza,
something.
and then we'll go to the Newcastle Arsenal preview. God.
I was gonna say something like, listen, I think he was robbed, man. He was robbed by Tottenham. When we wanted a striker, I can't believe, like, especially Tottenham fans, I blame them. Like, I'll speak to him. I remember going to a Tottenham game, Man City. That's the first game of the season, and we bid it for him. And the guy's giving them everything, and they denied this guy the opportunity of a lifetime. Their legend. Yeah, it was a selfish club, and I'm talking about fans, owners, everything. They let himself down because that was the opportunity to make your legend get a great status. He would have been a Man City now.
Would you have Haaland right? Would you have Haaland right now if he was if you signed Harry Kane?
To me, I would have. I prefer Haaland. I prefer Haaland.
No. Sorry, I don't mean like. Would you rather have him? I'm saying like, would Haaland be a Manchester City player right now if Harry Kane joined you 2 summers ago?
No, I don't think so because the wage bill. I think City are very clever. They run their structure so well. They will not get many players on the high wage bill. But the key thing.
So it worked out well for City anyway, didn't it? Then it worked out for City, right? You know.
I think for the fact that Pep was interested in him, he was interested in such a player, tells you Pep knew Kane could have done something special. He would have probably had 2 Premier Leagues and a Champions League, whatever it is at City. But the fact that the club was selfish at its core to let a guy down. I feel sorry for Harry Kane because a player like that with caliber, you're scoring goals. But what are you scoring goals for? What does he do for you? You haven't got any honours. You haven't got any achievement. I'm sorry. I'll give you an example. Foden is 22. He's going to get his 5th Premier League title. 5 Premier League titles.
That's crazy.
5. Cole Palmer doesn't play. He's going to get his 1 Premier League title. Rico Lewis is going to get at the age of 8.
Hamza, right, man, on a blackout. Bank holiday blackout. Oh, he's back.
No,
He's back.
Yeah, no.
Hamza.
So,
even, you know what? Calvin Phillips.
The ghost of Harry Kane's infiltrating Hamza.
Even Calvin Phillips, though, he was smiling. Look, he's smiling so much, he's collecting his medal.
He knows he's getting it. He's getting an honour. He can retire and say, I won the Premier League for Man City.
Yeah, that's pretty shameless, though, to me.
Premier League and Champions League. And that's what
shameless.
I'm saying.
Calvin Phillips celebrating getting his Premier League title when he's played with the grand total of about fucking half an hour of football.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. West Brown.
He should donate that to charity or something.
When West Brown comes on the TV interviews, what do you see? 7 Premier League winner, 2 Champions League winner. That's what people care about. Honest. What do you have? So at the end of the day, you can go have this goal scoring, but people all look at what have you achieved as a footballer? What have you gained? It's about trophies. It's not about goals.
In all honesty, look, I don't. This is kind of a stupid thing, but look, Mika Richards, I didn't rate him as a footballer, but look that 1 Premier League that he's got, an FA Cup, has made his post career. Like, I don't think he's that great at punditry. I don't find him that funny, but his actual career has been made living off the fact that he played for Man City. And look, I don't think Harry Kane should go there to be a bit part player. I don't think Harry Kane should go there. In all honesty, I think Harry Kane, if he wants to do a bit of both, probably Newcastle's the best option, but there's no space for him, so it's pointless.
I was going to say, there's no space.
Yeah, there's no space. Yeah. I think but there's no space for him. Obviously, Callum Wilson and Isak, they're 2 good players in their own right. So, and they got a good sort of tandem. We're probably going to say that today. So, yeah, I think Man United or pretty much no one. I wouldn't rule out Chelsea. Chelsea.
He's not going to Chelsea, mate. Come on. Unless you know something.
I wouldn't rule out Chelsea.
I think he'd destroy his legacy. I think Tottenham fans would see that as kind of.
You know what? Look. I think you have to also look at it as sometimes you have to just think, well, it is my career, and I actually don't care. Like, he is a Tottenham boy. He isn't an Arsenal boy. Like, he doesn't like Arsenal in that way, any way, shape, or form. But you have to also think that if he's being held by his own, pretenses against somebody he doesn't want to stay, he's gonna want to leave. Chelsea have a clear hole there, and I think
London, like you said, he'd have to move.
Yeah, but is he guaranteed to win anything at Chelsea? I don't think so.
But again, is he guaranteed?
To us? Is he guaranteed to us?
No, exactly. But it's in terms of probability, right? If you're going to leave Tottenham, and to your point about his wife being a Chingford girl and a settled family, like if he's going to leave Tottenham to go to Manchester United, you've got to factor in what is the likelihood of getting a trophy. Is it worth it?
No, do you know what, Sean? I
disagree. Man United, the probability is higher than I think it is at Chelsea. At Chelsea, it's probably marginally higher than Tottenham, but not really.
It's only slightly, because I think when you look at Chelsea's team and what they got to play with, once you actually get a manager that comes in, say it is a Poch, he's going to get him playing his style of play, and he trims down that squad. when you look at player for player, Chelsea have still definitely got a good team there. And once they add a number 9 to that as well, I think they're going to be one of them teams like us that are going to be trying to compete in terms of trying to challenge the Arsenal or Cities for the Premier League, and Liverpool will be there as well. I think next year is going to be one of the most, we say this every year, but I think it'll be one of the most interesting Premier Leagues, because if you look at Newcastle, who are also going to be in the Champions League next year, how are they going to juggle with the 2 games a week when it comes to it? Is their squad going to like improve a lot? Are they going to get only 4 or 5 players? How is Eddie Howe going to operate with that? So I think there's going to be so much twists and turns next season, but let's see what happens to Harry Kane, man. We've got a month left before the season properly ends. And, you know, it's either he stays at Spurs or I think he ends up in a Man United shirt. And you know what? If he does come to Man United, I just hope for my sake, because I'm one of the camps that's like, I don't even mind if we go for a Kolo Muani for the long term. If he does come to Man United, I want Kane to deliver and I want it to work out, because if he doesn't, I'm going to be one of them fans that are going to be like, I told you I didn't know it was going to really work, because a lot of them are guaranteeing that they think, yep, he comes in 25, no-brainer, 3 years, Van Persie, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. But big game over at St. James's today. Guys, there's 350 of you here, and we haven't even hit 100 likes. I'm sorry, but I feel disrespectful. I actually do feel disrespected right now. So, like, guys, make sure you please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to everyone as well. Make sure you check out Gouda Leeds, obviously on DR Sports a lot as well. You got Spurs Talk Show. You got Kendall as well. Her channel is going to be definitely coming back next season as well with more content. So, guys, please just make sure you hit the thumbs up on here. There's 350 of you. 70 of you could do that now. And that's 150 likes right there. So, guys, come on, please do that, man. It helps the channel with the algorithms as well. So big up everyone watching on a Sunday. But yeah, the big one today, Arsenal, Newcastle, St. James's Park, 52,000 sold out. This is for me, yeah. Like, Man United are playing tonight, but I'm more looking forward to this game. I feel like this is where I want to see Newcastle. You know, when like you're watching a game at 4:30, 52,000, the flags are waving, you know that they can actually beat a top team. This is how it feels today. Like, I can't go in there and call this game, Sean, if I'm honest, as a neutral. It's proper 50-50. Kendall, obviously, you're off to the game today. You beat us about a month ago, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone said that was your biggest game of the season, because obviously it kind of got you back in that full top 4 hunt. But today, for me, I feel like if you beat Arsenal, you've secured top 4. Is this game for you bigger than when you even played us at St. James's a month ago?
He's getting carried away. I'm scared. I just can't until it's like properly
You've
done.
got to believe. You've got to. It's happening.
I know. I want to believe, but I've just got PTSD. Right.
You're gonna go
I literally
sleep
can't.
Champions League anthem.
I'm pure scared. Like everyone. I was laughing
Did you just
yesterday.
say you just got paid? I just got paid yesterday. I'm not that excited. Is that what you just said?
PTSD. I've literally got PTSD off everything that's ever happened in my life. Right. I literally. I can't cope with this, like with literally Newcastle. It's like football related PTSD. I know that we just do these things, and I can't. We just at the very last hurdle there's diff, and I just can't be chewed. Like, I'm so scared for today, but actually I'm not. This is the first time I've woke up this season, genuinely this season, and thought, I'm actually excited today. I'm not ill. I'm not literally retching in the car the way they're like with nerves. I feel really excited for the game. So that's either a really bad thing or a very good thing. And everyone's backing us, which makes it 10 times worse, because the last time that happened, it was the Carabao Cup final. And look what happened there. So now I'm concerned that everyone's backing us. And I'm just, if we get past today, this is when I'll actually believe. Because we'll be going against one of the best teams in the league this season. And not to rub it in or anything, but like obviously who was first for a long time. Sorry. And I'll be happy if we win. I'll be like so happy if we win today. But I'm actually going into it and I don't feel the pressures with us, which is probably also a good thing. Because obviously everyone's going to be looking at Arsenal because of the title race, and obviously City won yesterday. But I don't think the pressure is with us the most. So that I feel
might
like
help you though.
I feel happier. Yeah. If I see Wilson and Isak starting together, I'm fine. I'll sit in that game and I'll enjoy the journey, 100%. If I don't, then I'll be a bit like, just don't give an early goal away. Because
and
then
allow them to start like
and allow them to go into the game,
like
because that's exactly what we didn't do. I know obviously everyone was whinging at the Emirates and Newcastle playing anti-football and it was horrible. Yes, I didn't like that game, but we immediately changed our tactics. We saw for the first 7 minutes how Arsenal were going to play, and we're like, yeah, that's not happening. And then obviously came out of that with a 0-0. So I feel like as long as we don't let them go into the game and don't let them decide and dictate the game, then I think we'll be fine. But yeah, I just feel more excited today. But I'm just I'm still very.
It's good to
I'll
be
sit in my seat
excited.
and
You
be
probably
like,
haven't felt like that for a long time, to be fair.
no,
Not even
I
trying
haven't.
to
And
gun
like
you
this,
past
obviously,
the
this
football
time
club,
last
but
season as well. It was like it was the 16th for me. We played you guys last time, Arsenal, and we were a lot worse then. You guys were obviously better this season as well, same as us. But yeah, I just think the growth's just been crazy. So
crazy, yeah, man. It's a good feeling for you, look, guys. I just want to make sure I read the super chat as well. Sorry, comedy, I didn't mean to miss that as well because obviously it was on the Harry Kane topic. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it every time. It says Kane doesn't strike fear into opponents like other goats did. Definitely doesn't make it into my GOAT list. He's a serial bottler. Obviously, we'll see what happens in the next 2 or 3 years of his career, but you know, you have an argument to make there with your point. But thank you for the super chat again, man. But yeah, Lee, man, you're obviously scratching your head. I think you know that.
why, Lee? Lee looking so stressed.
Bro, I
To be
know.
honest, you know, I'm not. You know what it is, right? It's annoying because everyone keeps making this game bigger than what it is. We're not in no title race. It's not a huge game. Newcastle are going to absolutely pipe us. I really don't think. I'm really not even that bothered. I think this team is a really good team, but I think Newcastle are.
Wow.
They're absolutely going to deal with us. And
Wow.
listen,
I don't. And now you're worried because you said that, and last year you were like, "Oh yeah, we're going to go to St James Park and batter everyone."
Lee's not even talking about defeat. He's talking about like he sounds like they're going to win 3-0.
I think it's going to be a 3-0. And I think, look, this team, for all the good things it has, I'll be honest with you, like we don't have the bottle, and we've shown it over and over again. And listen, everyone keeps trying to pretend that we're in a title race. We're not in no title race. The league is finished. It's done. And that's why everyone keeps like trying to make me pretend. And listen, I don't really think that Kivior's that great. I think he's absolutely wank. I don't know what everyone's trying to get excited about. I think for Newcastle, I think that if you come and you don't win by 2 goals, I'll be quite shocked. I'll be honest with you. And
you've got the comments going, Lee, boy.
Listen, man, I think, yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know why everyone is so excited. I don't know why Arsenal fans are excited about this game. I think we're gonna be.
Do you know what? I'm honestly not seeing one Arsenal fan who's excited. Every single Arsenal fan I support who's like, "Nah, we're getting beat. I'm not excited. I really don't want to go here today." Like every single Arsenal fan.
But Kendall, a month ago, this energy wasn't here a month ago.
Oh,
this is what's
God, that freaks me out.
I'll be honest. Like I think you got to look at the team, man. Like we're missing Saliba. Look, that's not an excuse, but I think players aren't playing well. Saka's not playing well. Listen, I might. That's why he started at Arsenal. Maybe that's what it is. So I think, look, as I said, I'm not that excited. I don't think there's anything for Newcastle fans to be worried about. Even if we win, we're just gonna win for the sake of winning. But I don't see us beating Newcastle.
What? So Lee, you're just conceding your head that you think Man City win all their games, and
they are going to win all
you know what? You know your worrying thing for me. You know your football, yeah, and I like the way you come across and that you can have good arguments and stuff like that. But when you're thinking like this as a fan going into this game at St. James's, when you know the atmosphere is going to be like this already, I'm not saying that the players are thinking the same, but if your energy and what Kendall said, she spoke to other Arsenal fans and that's how they're feeling too. If the players isn't feeling like this, surely like that's quite a bit of a negative to go into next season because it's kind of like when the shit hits the fan.
I think the reason why 2 things are different is the players make the fans feel like that. I don't feel like that because of the players. The players are making me feel. So the players aren't playing well. I can't trust Partey because he can't pass the ball 5 yards at the moment. The same way how you're not worried, you're not thinking Casemiro is playing well, right? That's why you're going in with trepidation. The same way how I don't think that Kivior. Listen, we beat Chelsea. They are horrible. What do I take from that game to make me think that we're good enough to beat? They couldn't beat Southampton at home. I know we couldn't, but they got absolutely battered. I think for us, look, we're not playing well. I don't trust some of our players at this moment in time in terms of putting up a good performance at this time of the season. And look, like as I said, you also have to give real respect to Newcastle. They're playing really good football, and Isak looks to be good. Look, players like Joe Linton,
injuries, nothing.
Joe Linton, who isn't a player who's got amazing skill, but he's just performing game in and game out. Bruno Guimaraes. You've got the likes of Odegaard, sometimes away from home. There's like, things where he doesn't turn up all the time. So this is a game where Arsenal, as I said weeks ago, I said at the Liverpool game, West Ham, unfortunately, our arses are falling out. And if we win today, do you trust us to win our next 3 games, 4 games? No, I don't trust us to go and beat Nottingham Forest away because the pressure's on. What happens to us when the pressure's on? We don't normally win. So what do you want me to do? You want me to just pretend that, everything's all hunky-dory? No, like Man City are going to win the league. Fair play. They've done what they've needed to do. They ain't gonna lose. They ain't gonna drop enough points. We put the pressure on them. They don't even need to play their C team to beat most teams at this moment in time. With Haaland up front. So, listen,
Oh, you seem ready for next season, Lee, if I'm totally honest.
you know what? I'm actually more looking forward to next season because, as I said, I feel like we're getting a few players from what I've seen, what I've heard. I feel we're going to get a few players that we're going to really try and go for something at least. Because look, ultimately, the way the season's ended hasn't been great. Like dropping points to West Ham, I don't now trust myself to go and get hyped up for Newcastle away. Dropping points to Liverpool, who at the time were horrible. I don't trust us to go.
Southampton.
We scored 2 goals against Liverpool, and Bournemouth scored 2 goals against them. I don't feel there's anything to be happy about. Like I'm not gassed about that. Like, so I'll just be honest.
Yeah,
man. I don't really.
I hear you. I'm gonna come back to Kendall because I know she's got to make a move to St. James's. But Kendall, does anything to give you a bit more confidence going into the game? It was Lee's speech right there.
Oh, but it makes it worse. I just think, every time they come at the game, they're like, "Oh, we're not going to win." Because last year it was like, "Oh, we're going to batter you so bad. Like, you was that awful. We're going to get Champions League," and then obviously it didn't, and it was 2-0 to us. So it's actually made me worried that it's the opposite way around, and they're all worried now, and we're like, oh, I hate stuff like that. It's like reverse psychology. I always get worried about
don't
it.
worry, you got this. You're good.
Yeah, it could be the reverse thing. I know.
I've got my Willock shirt on as well off last season because I thought, Willock might give us some good luck, so I've got my Willock shirt on today. But
yeah, see, even Man City fan Bray saying you're still in the title race, Lee. Obviously, you can win all your remaining games. But yeah, Kendall, before you go, obviously, have you got a prediction of what you want to say, or you just want to say, you know what, I'm going to enjoy it. Let's just see what happens. And if you win today, top 4 is basically secured. Would you rather say that one instead of a prediction?
Yeah, I think if we win today, then I'll be more confident. It's not secured necessarily, but I think I'll be more confident that we do get it because I am still very I'm scared.
It's not done till it's done, innit?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just like last year the atmosphere was so good, and it was because it was our last home game of the year. So I hope today is the same because that proper helped us last year. And I don't think you can underestimate like atmosphere in the ground, especially like at this time of the season as well. So I hope it's the same this year. I'm excited for the game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm like just raring to go on. I just want to get there and just chilling.
Nah,
like
enjoy it,
the
man.
vibe. Yeah, just enjoy it. But
nice.
I've said 2-1 the whole time this week. I've said 2-1 to Newcastle. So I'll stick with that, and that's what I'm going to go with. And if it is a result, if it's 3 points, then I'll be over the moon, and I can maybe settle into the season a little bit more and hope that we obviously beat Big Sam next.
Big Sam next.
Yeah.
Now, thank you for coming on as always. Have a great day and everything.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll catch up soon. Yeah, take care.
Yeah, see you later. Have a good day. Bye.
Just want to, if I can, on this one.
Yeah, one section. Quickly. I'll come to you straight away. Geordie, Tune for Life says Arsenal had a great season. Regardless, coming in with another super chat. Really appreciate that again, Bo. He says, we're not bottlers. Any team playing holding for a prolonged period cannot win the league. We had to compensate for him and we had to change our tactics. So Comdean must be an Arsenal fan, obviously, coming back to Lee in terms of obviously the bottling situation. Just before I come to you, Sean, Lee, did you want to respond to this comment? Because it's a super chat.
No, I didn't call us bottlers. I'm saying that, unfortunately, our arses fell out in those 4 games. I just think that we didn't, and the manager as well. I think he's been fantastic. Listen, nobody in this world loves Arsenal more than me, man. I love Arsenal. Like, I think we've had a great season. I've repped all these players all season, but you have to call it for what it is. We haven't played well and we're not playing well. What do you want me to do? Start pretending, that we haven't, fallen by the wayside. We have. Come on, man. Like, let's be serious. You got to be honest.
Yeah, fair. Big up. And then Sean, I was going to come to you anyway because I was going to say, is it quite interesting that after the whole season we've had, the Arsenal mentality now, is it kind of a bittersweet ending for you?
Well, no, I mean, look,
I love it.
Entirely honest. I think that had Tottenham finished 4th and Arsenal finished 2nd, then I would definitely be banging the drum of like, there's no difference. Everyone's been marching on about how bad Tottenham have been and how great Arsenal have been, but ultimately both teams have qualified for the Champions League and neither team have won a trophy, so whatever. But I can't do that because Tottenham are well out of it. But what I did want to say, listen, I still think I'm not somebody who has this binary approach to success and failure in football. I know a lot of people think that like it's one or the other. If you win a trophy, then it's a success. If you don't, it's a failed season. I think that there is a grey area in between, and that looks like progress. And if your team is progressing, then then you can still reflect on the season relatively positively. And I think that Lee and other Arsenal fans should be looking at this season, regardless of how, obviously it doesn't look like it's going to end with any success, but you guys should absolutely be looking at the season and reflecting on it as a positive one and one that you can build on. Other fans think, no, it's a failed season. I don't subscribe to that opinion. No. And it's easy for me to do that as a Tottenham fan because, I think that Tottenham we've only won one trophy. But if you look back under like Daniel Levy's tenure, when he took over, we were finishing on average over a 5-year span. We were finishing like average about 13th or 14th. And, over the last 20 years, you've only got one trophy to show for it. But the audacity, like Tottenham fans that have the audacity to think that we should be competing for honours, yet still think that our owner is a parasite. Like, if he's responsible for our lack of trophies, he's also responsible for our progress in the league and the fact that we are in that conversation. Maybe not at the top end of it, but we're still there. So I subscribe to the Arsenal fans who want to look at this as a season of progress and something to build on. And I don't think it's a failed season. But what I wanted to go with it, not actually talk about Arsenal so much, but more about the game specifically, because obviously the conversation that Lee and Kendall were having was more around, like, Newcastle are going to win and therefore Champions League for them is done and Arsenal season's over. But if Arsenal do win today, I wanted to not to play host, if you don't mind, but just for a second to put it back on you guys. Like, I'm looking at the league. But if Newcastle do lose today, they stay on 65 points, having played 34. Brighton, if they win their next 2 games, they'll be on 61 points. Like, is it like, you could still make the argument for Man United and Newcastle that both Liverpool and
we
Brighton
could lose today to West Ham, which I'm not confident about. Like Lee said earlier, the way we're playing, I'm not confident in us beating West Ham.
I think the issue
is Champions League wrapped up. Sorry,
I think the issue that you've got. No, just going off what you're saying. I think the issue you've got with Man United is at home, even though they win 1-0, they don't take their chances. So it's almost a bit like what you said about Arsenal, Man City earlier on. Even last game against who did you play again?
United.
Yeah.
My brain's gone blank now. Right. Yeah.
But even the game before that, during the week, you played somebody, and
we played. I went to the game. We beat Villa 1-0.
Villa, yeah, you played Villa, but that 1-0, you should have won 2-3, but you didn't take your chances, and they could have taken a chance. You just never know. So I think when you look at Man United, do you trust them all the way? Not really. Not 100%.
Only because we play at home, though, Lee. Fulham, Chelsea, and Wolves. That's the only reason I got confidence. Right.
So you've got 3 more. You got 3 more home games to finish off the
and that's
season.
the only reason I sit here and think we can't.
And I believe you only need 4 points from those 3 games at home. I
think if we win obviously our 3 home games and lose our 2 away games, Bournemouth and West Ham, we're still fine. So
Brighton have still got 18 points to play for. Right,
but they've still got to play Arsenal away, Newcastle away, City.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But the thing is, with Man United, the thing is, Man United can win games. They actually played well against most of the teams, but they just don't score. That is weird. They literally played well against was it Nottingham Forest? They played well against a few teams, but they just don't take their chances. Even against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final, they just don't take their chances. Brighton, as well as they played, I think the games are going to run out. Liverpool, the games are going to run out, and I think unfortunately they're going to look at it and think, oh well, only if only if Liverpool actually beat Arsenal instead of like missing the penalty. Only if like certain things. I think Tottenham again. Only if you beat who was it? You lost a Bournemouth at home. You lost 3-2 in the last minute. Those 3 points would have catapulted you up.
I don't think that if Tottenham did happen to finish in the top 4 this year, just by a virtue of getting some of those, like not conceding that last minute one against Liverpool, like you say, the Bournemouth, the game, the Brighton, some of the games where we dropped points with last minute performances all the way back. I don't think that Tottenham deserve to be in the top 4. Like Tottenham, if Brighton do it, Newcastle absolutely deserve it. If Brighton do it, they absolutely deserve it as well because of the season that they're having, and and Manchester United certainly are outperforming Tottenham.
Do you know what it is for me, Sean? Though, Sean, off your question, the thing is the fact that you're saying like with Newcastle, even if they win today, is it actually over? The reason I say it is for Newcastle,
if they lose, if they win, it's definitely over. I'd say, but if they lose today, it's over for them.
If they lose, I still think they get it, and the reason is because, and I see what Hamza thinks as well, to get him involved in on the even though he's a title talk, of course, but it's the inconsistencies of the teams around Newcastle. Man United are not consistent enough. Brighton, they've got games in hand. They always say you've got to win your games in hand. Liverpool is come too late, like Lee said. And then you've got Tottenham, who are very inconsistent. So because of the inconsistencies of the other teams, that's why Newcastle still get it. If we're talking about teams that are on a 5-match winning run and there's 3 or 4 around them that are creeping up, then I'll probably have a different sort of energy towards it. But I just don't believe that the teams below Newcastle are even more consistent than them. And Newcastle have got a double game week coming up with Leeds, which they'll win at home. And then they've got another couple of easy home games and one away game against Chelsea. I don't think they really blow it now.
So Newcastle probably going to be fine.
So I think Newcastle.
What percentage would you put on Man United? Oh, sorry, go on, mate.
I was going to say, I think if Man United win today, I think top 4's done. I do. Because they will beat Wolves. They will just have to. I am a little bit worried about. I think I am a little bit worried about Rashford in terms of he looks good, but I think even a ball that he got chipped over from Bruno against Brighton, like a few
weeks
ago,
not running properly, innit?
He would have smashed that in there. He would have taken that goal. I am a little bit worried about the Rashford thing because most of your goals do seem to start or come from him. So I am a little bit worried about the Casemiro thing. But look, I mean, just like Kane, Rashford this season, you can't discredit them because they've been fantastic. Kane's got 25, 26 league goals, done fantastically well. Rashford's got 20-something goals this season or whatever it is, done fantastically well. But if Kane doesn't score, you worry about Spurs. If Rashford doesn't score, you worry about Man United because as well as Anthony's played, as well as Sonny's played for the last couple of weeks, you don't really consistently believe in them as players. So it's going to be interesting. But lads, I do have to bounce.
Yeah, now Lee, big up for coming on, man. Great show.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy the game today as well. Yeah.
I'm gonna
guys,
try my
love that, man. 350 of you still here, guys. Make sure you do run up the likes. Make sure you keep if you haven't done it right now, just hit the thumbs up. If you're watching on your phone, live chat, hit the little cross. And then just hit the thumbs up. If you're watching your laptop, of course, hit the thumbs up as well. Just make sure that's lit for us. It pushes us out to different algorithms. And by the way, guys, sorry, Boreham Wood have just taken the lead against Notts County in the playoff. So this is big. Sorry, my best mate's playing for Boreham Wood right now in the playoffs. I'm going to watch it straight after this in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Could be off to Wembley next week. So they've just taken the lead against Notts County, who've got over 100 points in the league this year. So, so I'm buzzing right now. So we'll do 5 more minutes.
Awesome, mate. That's awesome.
Yeah, big up, man. I'm going to make sure I go and watch that in a second. But keep running up the likes, people. Hamza, what are your thoughts on the top 4? And then talk about United game today. Well, then we'll just do a little few minutes on United today.
Newcastle first. I was going to talk about Newcastle Arsenal. This is crucial for us, like so important to Man City. We're all watching this game because if they draw or lose here, it makes our life so much easy. City fans are tired going to the final game of the season, like stressing and coming from behind Aguero and done. It's stressful, man. It's really stressful. So we know Brentford is tough. We don't want that. We don't want to play Brighton away. We want to let's lose that. Let's play our youngsters, Maxino Peroni. Let's play all of them. I want to win the game by Chelsea at home. The key thing is this game. We have to look at Arsenal very carefully. Forget this mentality that people have, loser mentality of, they've done well. It's not because of that. It's because if you lead the race for that long, I'm sorry. I'm very harsh. I don't know whether because I'm coming from a City fan who've won titles for many years and I'm very lucky. It's a failure. Biggest bottle job in history. I think we'll have to talk about that. If they lose to Newcastle, there are players you need to watch out for this game. Odegaard goes missing in big games.
Yeah, he does sometimes.
People don't question that. Why do people not question that? Saka goes off in big games. We don't see him. They don't take that responsibility because they've never been. Last year, the same thing. People blame Holding easy. People are going to look for the Holding. Holding is the reason we didn't get top 4. It's because City have had Fabian Delph playing left back, won the league. Whole season, left back. Otamendi. Yeah. We've played Otamendi, Eric Garcia in defense in games. Otamendi, Eric Garcia won the league title. So to me, I want Newcastle to win. I'm desperate. I need them to drop points because I need to be Everton, Chelsea. Because Brighton away, I'm not risking it. I think I'm losing that game. I'm sorry. I think I'm losing that game. It's going to be stressful. And my players are fatigued. So to me, if Arsenal lose this against Newcastle, they drop points, I will question Arsenal mentality. I'm not going to question Rob Holding. I'm coming for Odegaard. We're coming for players like Saka. We are watching those players. Gabriel Partey. Thomas Partey, I told you. Gabriel Magalhaes. I'm going to watch those players very carefully. So to me, it's a big game. To say Arsenal had such... What are we talking about here? Are we serious? So
Well,
if you're
you
leading
know
the
what?
race
Even
for-
listening to Lee, yeah, Hamza, that's what I was even shocked. Listening to Lee, that was the first time in probably the whole season that I've seen that
Yeah.
energy of him of like, it's, you know, we've lost, the league's
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Like you're always like,
It was interesting energy, wasn't it? A really interesting
It's
energy from Lee
interesting,
there.
and like what Hamza saying is like, is it not? And I'm not coming for Lee in that sense, but like, is it kind of the easy way out for Arsenal fans just to say, yeah, it's done, you know? Like that's how I feel like it's coming up, because the energy they've ran all season, like he said, it's now crumbled on them. It's now crumbled on them.
And you know what? I've said it 3 things. As soon as they lose the league title, I'm gonna run that poll. Who's the biggest bottle job in history? This Arsenal team, the Steven Gerrard, the season that he slipped because they were chanting, "We're gonna win the league. No one's gonna believe us." And all. Do you remember they were chanting every game, and they had that slip? That's the second team, and the Fergie one, Aguero moment, because they were way ahead of us, and we caught up. Those 3 teams that are going to be judged, but Arsenal team are very close to being judged as the biggest bottle job, because there's no way you lead that race for that
And
long.
do you know what I'm intrigued with them as well? Is that with even when you look at them as rivals, Sean, as well, and Hamza, look at them as potential rivals next season if they kick on and buy players. But how will Arsenal players bounce back from this? Because they've never sort of, you know, been in this situation before. You look at Liverpool, you look at Chelsea's, you look at Man United, you look at Newcastle's, who are also going to improve. And these teams are going to be better than what they've shown this season. And we know that. So Arsenal have got to elevate again.
Mate, I've got to be honest, man. Just quickly, I think that the Newcastle summer is going to be the most fascinating, because I was saying this last time I was on the show here. I feel like a lot of their players have massively smashed through their own personal glass ceilings. People like Dan Burn, Fabian Schär, you know, Joelinton, Longstaff, those sorts of players that have been absolutely instrumental in a wonderful season, playing disciplined, organized, solid football that's got a purpose, leadership behind it. Everyone's playing towards this mission of Newcastle going out doing things. They're not going to be like, it happens, right? Players have odd seasons where they just hit heights they haven't seen before, and then eventually gravity pulls them back down. We saw it with Tottenham last season. Players like Eric Dyer, Ben Davies, those sorts of players last season were playing far above their usual level. And this season, we didn't improve on the centre-back spot last season as a consequence of thinking Daniel Levy, penny pinching, going, well, look, you know, we've got good enough defenders. But obviously this season, it's been exposed that actually that was an anomaly, the exception to the rule, and they've come back down. And so with Newcastle having all the money, the additional money from the Champions League, plus their owners, plus this ambition, but how do you go about, like, do you trust the same players for a second season? Probably not, right? Do you need to go and improve, or do you need to go and find someone to partner Sven Botman to replace Fabian Schär? Probably. Do you need to go and get a different player to replace Longstaff? Probably. Is Joelinton going to do it? Is Almiron going to do it? All these question marks. But if you go and then like disrupt the team so much by going and spending a fortune on 5 or 6 players that are that next caliber up, then you run the risk maybe of going through what Chelsea are doing right now, which is too many new additions into the dressing room. No one speaks the same language. No one knows each other. Too many unknowns. And then look what happened with Chelsea. So to me, like, whilst you're talking about Arsenal and whether they're going to be like, what are they going to do next season? I think the difference for Arsenal is a little bit smaller. Like the risk for Arsenal to carry on the step up is far smaller than someone like Newcastle. I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle go out and spend a fortune, and then I don't know why I'm doing this, but if Newcastle go out and spend an absolute fortune and actually take a backwards step, because in order for that, like the delicate changes that are necessary between improving gradually, but also expecting some of those players that have far outperformed their usual level, doing it for a second season. To me, what happens with Newcastle next season is going to be one of the most fascinating stories I think that I've seen in Premier League.
And also juggling the 2 games a week in the Champions League with the quality.
Another factor.
Yeah, because obviously it depends on the quality of the squad. Look at Man City. When they first started coming into the Champions League, when they got into the deeper stages, they struggled a little bit, obviously overcoming that hurdle, was Hamza knows. But now they've got a squad and kind of adjusted mature wise mentally to it. They now can juggle it. A lot of teams who have just, you know, not been in the Champions League for a long time, they do, you know, struggle to acclimatize to it straight away. Big up, Sean, for your comments as well. We're going to wrap it up here because obviously we've done an hour and 50. And I know obviously there's still 265 people here. The question here was, name 3 games this season Odegaard's ghosted. Comedy with another super chat. If I could think of 3 off my head, okay, Man City away. I think he was poor. Liverpool
Man
away.
City home. Liverpool.
Liverpool away 2-2. Yep. What
Man
did you
City
say?
at home.
Man
Man
City,
City at
yes.
Southampton.
home.
Man City even at home.
Southampton
Southampton.
3-0.
Come on, man. He
Southampton.
goes until
I know
the
he scored
goal.
in the last minute. On that one, they might say, "Oh, he scored." And do you know what? Actually, I remember. Do you remember Everton away when Everton beat them 1-0?
1-0. Yeah, that's well.
Had
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, so there's been games where Odegaard's a very good player, by the way. Don't get it twisted. He's a very good player,
superb
but I
player.
just feel like
Yeah.
when it comes to the gritty, or when you need your captain to maybe put in a tackle just to get the crowd going again and do something, he just kind of doesn't want to get. He's one of them players that it's like he doesn't want to get his shorts dirty. Do you know what I mean? Like everything's very pretty and nice, and when it works, it's brilliant to watch. But when you need something like today, when you play Newcastle away and you've got Longstaff, you've got Bruno Gomares, you've got like Botman's, Dan Burns, everyone being physical, Odegaard might have to, show something different today, especially if he wants to keep Arsenal mathematically in that title race. But yeah, of course, he's a brilliant player. But let's see what happens, man. My thoughts on United quickly, just my 1 minute ramble is that, I still think we get top 4. Am I confident today? I'll be real, no, because our away record's been shocking. I think even against the top 9 teams in the league, we've won 1. I think if that this season, our home form is what's got us into this top 4 race. It's something that massively needs to improve next year. And I think one more win for West Ham also, it determines obviously their safety in the Premier League. And I think when you've got a team like Bowen, Antonio, and players like that who are going to come on a floodlit game Sunday evening, I'm not overly confident. Can we go there and beat them because player for player we are better? Of course we can, 100%. But being a realist and looking at our away form and the way we're playing at the moment, we look a bit leggy and done. I'm not confident on that side, but I think the first goal will be crucial. Hamza, what are your 30 seconds thoughts on United, West Ham? Who do you think wins? And then I'll go Sean.
Big game for United. Yeah, listen, you got a big game. If you win this one, you're back to top 4. You've secured top 4. There's no doubt about it. Obviously, I want West Ham to win because I'm desperate for you guys not to do anything. But I think you're in good stead, man. You're fighting well. You're playing well. You lost to Brighton, but listen, you're fatigued. You're tired. You played the same amount of games as us. People don't look at that part. If I take agenda to the side, like United have played more games than Arsenal haven't played as much games as Man United, and Man United have managed to keep that going, and I respect that. So today, I think it might be a West Ham win. My heart says West Ham win. I think we can get a fantastic result.
It is going to be interesting. And Sean, what do you think? Do you think United secure their top 4 today, or do you think it goes on again another week and they've got to do the business next week?
Yeah, no, I actually think it's going to be a draw today. I think it'll be a good game of football, but I don't think West Ham are out of trouble. I know they're on 34 points. And they're going to need, obviously 2 of Leicester, Leeds, or Nottingham Forest to do well over the next couple of games. But they're not out of trouble, and West Ham at home can be dogged, especially against Manchester United is usually a good game. So I think it'll be a really, really interesting game of football. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
There we go. Perfect. And on that note, that is a wrap. Guys, thank you for joining me as well. Big up Hamza every single time. Thank you, Sean, as well. At least we've got a few hours now until the big games, 4:30 and then 7 o'clock tonight. So it's going to be we're all going to have an evening of football. So yes, guys, make sure obviously you lock in later. We might have a show later tonight. If not, we'll have definitely the Premier League review tomorrow as well on Never a Foul, probably in the mid-afternoon, obviously considering it's bank holiday. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you smash a like on your way out. Make sure you check all these guys out on Twitter. If you go to Never a Foul on Twitter, on the last tweet, you'll see everyone's Twitter who was on the show today, so you can follow them as well and make sure you keep up with their content. And then on that note, we'll catch you on the other side. Big up.
Peace.